Hello and welcome to episode 43 of The Dark Tower. Today we may or may not get around to actually working on the airship. I did some measurements and stuff though. I will be working on the walls though, which will probably consume most of the episode. As you can see here, we have laid out some wool which represents where the two balloons will be. I want to have two scar-shaped balloons, as they call it, generally, with the ship hung in between them. Now, I'm not sure how well it's going to work, and this was actually harder than I had originally anticipated, trying to figure out a design that would work. Down here, I have laid out in gravel and dirt a cross section of one of the balloons, which will be 5 by 5. As you can see, I also put up some of the wall for the fourth tower, but I need to decide what to do with this overhang here. Whether drop it down to the base or just perch it on the cliffside. But anyways, I had, yes I do, upgraded my builder's backpack. I'm not going to put as many windows in this level as some of the other ones, so I'm going to instead limit that to a couple of slits in each wall to let in some light. That looks pretty good. So I need to do the same now. That wall will largely be open, so no windows in that one. I don't actually have anything for doing doors for the hangars, so it's just going to be always open on that side. So what I want to do is put catwalks along the edge to make construction easier. This floor is going to be taller than most. I'm not exactly sure how tall, so I'm not actually going to put a roof on it. And neither am I going to go any farther with the wall that direction. It appears I'm going to need a bed up here. Of course I don't have one on me. But I can make one. Another thing I need to do is set up a workshop somewhere. Not sure. Maybe one of these corners for now. We will actually move this over here. Okay. Now to continue with the finish off this wall. I should have brought this one out like so. Now that is actually not as tall as I would. Yeah. Needs to be one taller, and then I could put red brick in. Assuming I know what I'm doing, which is a pretty big assumption. So this floor appears to indeed be only 3 tall. So 5 levels between the red bands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I did it wrong. But in cases like this, we do have our handy dandy wand of transmutation, or equal trade, or whatever it's called. Now I do have more materials for the bloodstained brick, and it seems that I got everything that I needed except more bloodstained brick, so I will rectify that real quick. Still need a stairway across this floor. Hello, Mr. Creeper. I went ahead and finished off the 2 floors below here. They're empty now, but maybe I'll do something with them someday. But anyways, we have plenty of rotten flesh. We'll leave the string there. It's not the fastest mob trap, but it's sufficient for my needs, it appears. Mostly. Could probably still be improved without too much effort, but we'll leave that for another time. And I did move my chest with all the stuff in it, didn't I? Yes. Yeah. Here we go. So I didn't actually have any in there, so that's good. Now I suppose that I could put I could put red windows in this layer, but I think I will not for the moment. Okay. So, not sure exactly where I want these catwalks to be, but I think I'll put another layer on and then I can probably figure that out. Now these catwalks will allow me to access the ship while it's being built. A lot easier than random climbing around, and also add nice atmosphere to the hangar. And we'll leave that as it is for the moment. Now my thoughts for the catwalk is to use planks and slabs and probably wooden posts. So we're going to do something similar to, actually, yeah, something similar to my tree setup. Probably do not need a lot of that garbage. I'll have to sort that later. Anyways, if I put in one catwalk at the normal level that a floor would be, floors are typically 2 blocks above, which would mean my catwalk would need to be on the level that isn't there. At least one of them. Whether or not I'll have multiple catwalks remains to be seen. So if we put a catwalk there, we can also put one there. Not sure if I have any ladders on me. I think I do not. I do have quite a bit of wood though, so. Always got more ladders than I need. The problem with having them that close together is the inability to jump, which will undoubtedly be needed. So, we may actually attempt. Now the floor level of the ship will probably be about here normally, so this might be a good place to put a catwalk. And it's a good thing I have that bed up here because it appears to be dark again. So that gives me 3 blocks between catwalks, which I do not think will hinder my jumping ability any, particularly considering it's more like 3.5 blocks. That ladder's probably not going to stay there. And actually there's some question about whether or not I want to do catwalk around the edge. Maybe. I think perhaps I need to get more wood. One moment. So wood is not something that I am in short supply of, so that should do as well for the moment. That's not right. That's what we need to do. Nope. Now, one concern is preventing the ship from colliding with the sides. Put our hanger, ladder, not hanger. Our ladder right there, I think. Like the other one. Okay, it's a good start. So anyways, yeah, not colliding with the walls. I did edit my config so that the brick, the abyssal brick, none of the variants will compile into a ship, since I didn't figure I needed to or wanted to build anything with brick. However, the floors and the catwalks and stuff, they will potentially compile into the ship if I manage to get the thing in there wrong somehow. But that said, I will be making brackets to kind of guide it in out of abyssal brick, which should prevent too many issues. I can hope. We'll see how it goes. But I also want to cover this. Because undoubtedly I will be falling in if I don't. Not quite sure how much I want to cover, how much I can cover. Amazing. I can actually get out of there. Looks like we'll be covering the whole thing then. Did I really use all my brick already? Nope, I do not need. Can't believe I used all my brick. Anyways, we will cover that like so. Yeah, that works pretty good. Do the same with this side. Here's an idea. Nope. Cannot place slabs with the shovel, apparently. Okay. I probably need to replace these torches. But that should give me, prevent me from falling down those holes all the time. Now the hangar is actually progressing fairly well. We'll remove this, which once again was to designate where the balloon would be. Now the ship part itself. One moment. Okay, so I think what I want to do is build a bit of a framework here to get things started. For the base of the ship, which I want to have 2 blocks clearance, which should be sufficient. Now, this is complicated. Trying to figure this out, but give myself some, lay down the keel for the airship. Which is probably too long at the moment, so it's going to be kind of a rough process. These pillars will probably be moved as well. But what we want to do is put down another layer. We'll whittle it down to shape once we get the substance laid out. So, additionally, this is already looking like it's going to be massively larger than I was expecting. Additionally, we are going to want to extend out some wings off of each side. But I need to figure out how wide those should be. So I think what I need to do is lay back down my balloon outline, which is something like so, which puts the center right there, which means we probably want the wings to come out to there. And the same thing over here on this side. And over here. These torches gotta go. And what we'll do is support it like this. Fill out this pillar, and that'll be about it for the hole. My findings with ships is that normal blocks work best, so I'm not going to try and make it all pretty with stairs or anything. Although technically stairs should work. Yeah, well, that ain't going to work. Oh, I almost jumped down. So, it tells me one thing. My catwalk is too low. So I will have to rectify that. It needs to be at least a block higher. I will go do that real quick and raise that up, and I will be back. Okay, catwalk modified. And I was actually tempted to convert the wings to slabs, but I'm not sure how well that would actually work out with with the support pillars, so I think we'll not do that for the moment. And yeah, that would be me failing to jump. I have made the jump before. So we want to put in a railing as well. Actually, don't remember if did I fix this? I guess we'll find out. There was some rendering issues with posts that I did fix. But whether or not they are currently fixed, I do not know. Now our wheel, which we do not have crafted, will probably go right here, so, or might actually work better if it's back here in the middle, in which case a wider middle might not be a bad thing. There is a limit to how nice you can make stuff look in Minecraft. I think we'll do something like so, which gives us reason to actually do this underneath, but that kind of removes some of my margin for error. But we'll give it a try. If we manage to stick the ship to the building, then we may have to rethink things, but I had wanted this thing to be sufficiently enough of a base away from home, but I'm not sure about that. It's bigger than it looks, but has less room inside than I expected. And I'm somewhat limited by the number of blocks that the balloons can carry, because the entire ship needs to be made up of 40% of balloons, which I have not yet constructed. So complicated by the fact that the balloons will need supports. Making me think maybe I ought to just make the whole thing wider. expanding the hole out to the new dimensions. Gives us a much more uniform design. Not really sure if that's a good or bad thing, but it is what it is. So if I have, so that should be centered. Might actually do this differently. I don't know if I can get away with it though, but we'll see. That's making it really close. I may have to adjust my catwalks to not be all the way around. At least not in some areas. Also complicated by the fact that our balloon must be longer than our wings. By some amount. Longer and wider, making our catwalks even more difficult. But if I move the wings back, that gives me a little bit more room to work with stuff. So it does do some weird things to my pillars. I think we'll leave it where it was for now and change it later if needed. Anyways, this is probably reaching a pretty good wrapping up point, so not quite sure how long this video is because I've cut a fairly large amount, or paused. Not cut exactly, but I do like the nice wide setup. Fences and diagonals just don't get along. I do want to be able to fly the balloon up next to stuff and be able to jump or work from the balloon. But I'm not sure how well some of that's going to work. I might not have as much room as I thought I did. So, anyways, I need to think about this a bit more before we move on, so I'm going to wrap this video up. And I just want to say that the Minecon fundraiser is completed. We reached our goal, and many thanks to everybody who donated. That's really awesome of all you guys, so keep up the good work, and I'll keep bringing you awesome mod updates. And so anyways, this has been episode 43, I believe it was, of the Dark Tower. And this is Covert Jaguar signing off.